The woke media agenda have their filthy tendrils on our TV shows and movies, and now they want to infect our video games by making all of our women ugly. Says a very vocal minority on the internet. But is there actually any truth to this? As subjective as something like beauty is, are companies consciously making efforts to uglify women in their games? And who really gives a fuck? Let's have a look, shall we?
And that's what they are. Wafters.
This debate has been going online for a while now. Are video game companies obliged to make female characters less traditionally attractive because beauty is apparently objectifying? I don't know how many times I need to use air quotes here, but I just hope you'll get the memo on that. The most recent surge of online complaints came after the Xbox Showcase revealed their new Fable trailer. I personally thought it was pretty good. Clearly it's leaning into the British humour with talent such as Richard Ayoade leading the narration and starring as the giant on top of the beanstalk. But the contention was based around who is presumably the main character, this infamous freeze frame, of which now is the butt of some online jokery. The trailer is sitting at 24k likes to 20k dislikes on the official Xbox channel, but other channels tell a different story. For example, the same trailer on GameSpot has 10k likes to a whopping 32k dislikes. So what the hell is the problem? Well, people think that the character looks too manly. They've compared it to the mocap actress Lily Nicole, whose likeness was used to create the magic-slinging heroine in the trailer, but people think she's more attractive in real life than her digital counterpart. Upon doing some research into this topic, a certain Twitter handle kept popping up, Ian Miles Cheong. This right-wing grifting bottom feeder is furious about women in games no longer turning him on, apparently. His tweet reads, "This is the main character of the new Fable game from Microsoft, continuing the trend of weirdly unattractive female main characters in video games, because beauty is objectifying. This is what happens when you consult with woke intersectional feminists." It's quite charming for a goblin, isn't he? Well, this has had people bringing up Aloy in Horizon Forbidden West, who people say was made uglier than she was in Zero Dawn, arguing that the 6-month time period between the two games' narrative was no excuse for making her, quote, fat, unquote. Again, comparing her motion capture actress to the in-game model. So what is the actual answer to this? Since 2010, there has been an increased number of women who work in game design. Before this, it was a heavily male-dominated industry, and for the most part, it still is. Female characters were designed by men for men. Tig old biddies, largely subservient and agreeable. But with modern trends moving more towards acceptance and inclusion, wouldn't it make sense for women in video games to start looking and acting a bit more relatable to those who design and play them? Conforming to beauty standards with video game characters, believe it or not, has been shown in studies to have a negative impact on younger girls' own body image. Beauty standards have of course changed over time and become more and more unrealistic. For example, here be beauty from the Victorian era. Yeah, you like that, huh? How's that making you feel? Stop objectifying. The technology that modern games run on also have their part to play, with exceptionally rendered lighting, graphical fidelity, and all of the imperfections which, love them or hate them, make us humans look more real in the digital world, are able to be reproduced now. So when developers are going for the hyper-realistic, they can do so more convincingly than they ever could before. Is this a one-sided problem then? What about male depictions in video games? I mean, let's face it, we hardly ever see men who aren't incredibly muscular chads with phenomenal hairlines now, do we? There are rare exceptions, such as Rockstar Games giving us the likes of Trevor Phillips in GTA 5, but men are usually portrayed in games as incredibly strong, brave and funny, which are themselves male archetype tropes, usually just as unrealistic as how females are designed, but the difference being the sexualization. Now, you could say that there are definitely sexualized male characters in games designed purely for the fangirl audience. I mean, just look at any anime game. But the difference being usually that male characters are designed with interesting backstories and importance, whereas women are usually just relegated to the side character role and serve as nothing but agreeable eye candy. But from an industry viewpoint, let's not forget that leaked diversity graph from Activision. It was being used to create characters who ticked the right amount of boxes to fill a quota of inclusivity. As cringe as that graph was, it does tell us that companies are likely being more conscious of the characters and stories that they create. Is that actually a bad thing though? I'm personally not a fan of just shoehorning different cultures and ethnicities into stories unless it actually makes sense for them to be there. I feel like it's almost insulting and disrespectful to everyone involved to do that. But having more realistic women in video games feels kind of like a non-issue, guys, honestly. Do I find this character in Fable attractive? Not really, no. Do I need to find her attractive to enjoy the game? No. Does her attractiveness in the game make her less enjoyable to play? I would assume no, but you know, haven't played the game, so. I can sort of humour the argument that video games are a form of escapism for people, and they would rather be whisked away to a fantasy land where everyone is gorgeous, including themselves. But there are plenty of games out there which facilitate those kinds of fantasies. The bottom line is, things are just changing in the world. Women are tired of being nothing but sexual toys for men to gawk at. Games are embracing social trends to, of course, appeal to the masses and make lots of money. But if by doing so they can offer previously marginalised groups more relatable content, as long as that content is still good, then who really cares? And if you really don't like it, you know what you can do? You can just not buy it. You can just not buy the games which have females in it that don't match your specific definition of attractive. Yeah? Way to go, stick it to the man. And for the record, Aloy is absolutely banging, so I don't know what the hell you're all talking about. Oh. Naughty, objectifying. See, I think we can all do better, guys. I think we can all do better. Anyway, that's what I think, but I'm curious about what you think. Have I missed anything in the video when looking into this? Let me know in the comments. Hit the like button if you liked the video, guys. Dislike it if you didn't. Subscribe if you want to see more from me, and I'll see ya when I'm looking at ya. Thank you for watching. Side note, if you played that Lies of P demo, oh, it's phenomenal. Oh. I'll see you in the next one.